Pant. There's that shot again. Rishabh Pant, a trademark these days, starts the final one with a 4. Closer and closer they go to 200.
A very good game awareness from Rishabh Pant. Played a few strokes, got himself into a good position, anticipating what the bowler might offer at him. Fuller ball, half tracker. He has made up his mind which direction he is going.
It's been tough watching for them, the Afghanistan fans, because, well, this tournament has gone their way so far. And they meet up with the side needing to put their best foot forward, having not done so the rest of the tournament. And there are some shots being played, all right. That is magnificent from Rishabh Pant. Oh, wow. 200 comes up.
Thinking for Captain Mohammad Nabi. What's the perfect field to his bowler? What length does he target? Doesn't matter, doesn't need to come down the track. All focus is just to get underneath that bounce from Rishabh Pant. The power in the hands takes the ball sailing.
Nothing. Absolute everything as far as the swinging ball is concerned. 7 from 11. 3 sixes. Feet going absolutely nowhere. It's all hands. And making sure that he's lifting. Bowling. Changing the length. Setting himself, Rishabh Pant, for the full one, because that's generally where Ahmed Hassan goes. So let's test the middle of the pitch. Okay, with a eye rather. That's how it looks, this table for Group 2. Well, India will field first part of this one. Pretty good, 205 for 2. A couple of balls to go. At net run rate, minus 1.61. Yep, I hear you all. Well bowled, but it still goes for 4. Well done to get the feet out the way and to take it out by Hardik Pandya.
Unlucky. That's the best delivery he's bowled in the last 2 overs, Ahmed Hassan. Perfect yorker. Hardik's deep in his crease. Covering his off stump. Too far away, in fact. He was ready to launch into that.
Final one. No contact. To buy to finish. The final one yielded 16. India 210 for 2 batting first.
Second highest total for India on the board. Will take some chasing.
Top effort this from India, 210 on the board. Stiff target for their opposition, Afghanistan. They wanted to field first, felt that the dew would be too difficult to deal with. Bowling second, having been asked to bat first. It's important under the pressure that they've come under in the tournament that India put a score on the board, and they've done that all right. It's the highest, as you see at the bottom of the screen, in this World Cup.
For a partnership, 63 of 22 deliveries. Pant noted ahead of Virat Kohli, then Hardik Pandya.
A look at the batting card, and not too many required today. Opening partnership, wonderful, 140. And then Pant and Pandya together putting on 63 from 22. Let's go downstairs. Similar card.
One of the architects things right before me. KL really well batted. What's the wicket like, firstly?
I think the best wicket that we've batted on in the last 3 games. I think the wicket starts looking better if you get off to a good start and openers give you a solid foundation. That was our plan. But we can do it too. Once we played a couple of, we knew it was a good wicket to bat on. So it's important that we set up the base, and then we know there's enough firepower in the and at the bottom. So expect them to go and do what they did. So yeah, very happy with the batting performance.
You mentioned the good start, 140 for no wicket. And this is the 4th century stand between you two. What was the chat when you walked out?
We don't really chat much, to be honest. Like you said, we've batted together for a long time now. We've played together for a long time. We understand exactly what is expected out of each other, and running between the wickets. And sometimes if Rohit feels that the situation is slightly different and maybe hold me back, sometimes he does that. But otherwise, always freedom to go out there and play our game. And he lets me play with freedom, and I obviously have to tell him much. The world-class player, and he knows exactly what. So we just keep reminding ourselves to stay in good shape and try and time the ball and not try.
This time around, and at the back, big hitters.
2. $110 is everything the fans wanted to see. Now the bowlers have got to make it a big win for India. Right then, it's time now for the bowlers to come and deliver. Impressive in this World Cup so far, their attitude, their approach, especially these two, Mohammad Shehzad and Hasratullah Zazai. 110, how far can they get? Can they get off to the kind of start their supporters have got used to over the years? What India's batsmen have done here is give their bowlers more than what they would have asked for at the start of the game.
And they know the price of these runs, the Indian team. They've been very short of them the last couple of games against two quality sides, Pakistan and New Zealand. Today is one day when they realize that everything came good. We heard it from KL Rahul earlier that this is the best pitch so far that the Indian team has played on in this World Cup. They're not complaining at all. Bangabandhu, captain of Afghanistan, asked Virat Kohli to bat.
I like this player. Mohammad Shehzad, of course, has been around for a long, calls himself MS. But Hasratullah Zazai plays some clean shots. Rahmanullah Gurbaz, Najib Zadran, all very clean hitters of a cricket ball. He's given the new ball straight away to Mohammad Shami. Be surprised if you see a little bit of Ashwin in the power play. Keep your eyes out on towels in case the dew comes down. It does, though. It just frees you up completely. You have no choice but to go for it straight away. So we might see very exciting, rollicking phase of cricket here. Mohammad Shami is going round the wicket to the left-hander straight up front. There's a slip and a shot third man on the edge of the circle, and they're not that far apart. Now they're a deepish gully almost. Decision to go for the ball. Our back. Some big sixes, Zazai.
Strong player. That's short in his arc, will be punished. He likes the width.
Like that. Got a little bit of it. It wasn't very wide, but he's on top of it straight away. And Afghanistan are up and moving.
You just got to be very careful of that strength of Zazai. The thing is, he's always trying to keep that ball down along the ground, rolling those wrists over it. Now he wants a different bat. It's too along the ground for him.
Mohammad Shehzad. Sometimes I see the two of them batting together and I don't know who's hitting the ball harder. Right, changes in the field. Fine legs come up. He's gone over the wicket, so third man's gone out. And the man on the square leg boundary. You can see there. Oh, beautiful ball. Always had to be the angle from right arm over. Saw earlier. Extraordinary display of batsmanship. Oh, while this ball stays nice and dry, India's ball got to make the most of it. It's moving around. It's moving around, there's no doubt at all. Rifle. 20th T20 International. Richard Kettleborough. Artist rejoined us. Interesting kill. The best pitch played on. Best.
It seems so as well. I know they've been asked to bat first on all 3 occasions. There was something which you also said as we were getting ready, that even against New Zealand, it was cracked. Not as good as this, but just that they didn't get off to a start.
Said that post-retirement from international, from all forms of cricket, Karthik has never charged from where he was to where he is quicker.
All Vishen Bedi's training came to good use today. Climbing up those stairs, running up those staircases. Reach you, that's all right.
Right, Hardik Pandya is off the field, got hit a painful blow on the elbow. It didn't come in the way. Hitting 35 of 13 balls. So Ishan Kishan is on the field. Hopefully not too much longer. You never want to see him bowl. 5 of Shami's first over, 5 for none.
শিরশির অনুভূতিকে দ্রুত হার মানান সেন্সোডাইন র্যাপিড রিলিফের সঙ্গে।
মাঝখানে ভ্যানিলা ক্রিম আর 2 পাশে বিস্কুট, ইয়াম্মি মজা। তাই এখন ক্রিমও খাও নিজের স্টাইলে।
New Zealand Dairy, excellence in quality.
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেন্ট মানি তো ফ্রি।
Given themselves a fantastic opportunity of getting that minus against the number, against the net run rate. Get that off. They have a good win today. All that come to nothing if New Zealand beat Afghanistan. So from India's point of view, given the situation, given what's left of this campaign for them, they've got to win this game big and then try and have similar results against Namibia and Scotland. If New Zealand beat Scotland today, New Zealand beat Afghanistan, they're through. There's 19 overs of play left here. This is interesting. 2 seam bowlers, fast bowlers, whether it's Rabada or no.
Wonderful start. He's right on the money there. This was something discussion with Tommy about good bowlers hitting this
sanitizer.
সেপ্টেল সুরক্ষার পাওয়ার আপনার হাতে।
লাক্সারিয়াস সিল্কি ফিনিশিং ও অ্যান্টিব্যাকটেরিয়াল প্রপার্টি সমৃদ্ধ বার্জার লাক্সারি সিল্ক ইমালশন শুধুই গ্ল্যামারাস দেন আমার স্মৃতি রাঙিনা।
Across the pitch map.
Very clever over from Jasprit Bumrah, that one. What a shot we saw in it. How's that for private seating areas?
Apparently they're called the family pots.
Family pods. I like it. I generally I love cricket grounds that have the big lawns on them. It's very pretty. Now Mohammad Shami again.
There is a conscious effort to take the ball away from Zazai. Because the way he's set up for anything, for any pickup shot on the onside. You can see that from that grip of his, the stance of his. He's always trying to pick one over. Not great footwork, or doesn't move his feet too much.
Watch for the length from Shami. He's just tended to be a little shorter. That's fuller and slower. Clever.
As you can see from that shot, just look at the way he set up. Just a little bit of shuffle. And the way his bottom hand comes into play, what he's trying to do, it's always on the onside. Everything towards his onside.
He's played so many shots, Azhar. He's 12 of 11. He's hit a 6 and a 4, and about 6 other shots. When it connects. A lot of movement. Right, when India batted, take your pick. Rohit Sharma got runs. Then towards the end, Hardik Pandya and Rishabh Pant. But when KL Rahul bats well, just looks wonderful. He's the one who started it, didn't he?
I actually thought Rohit Sharma got off the blocks much quicker than KL Rahul. But it's just that he caught up with Rohit Sharma beautifully, and it was also interesting to hear. So they actually didn't chat up too much regarding what they wanted to do. It's a great understanding. They complement each other really well in a very unsaid, unwritten way.
Once he goes on and plays long innings, you always want him in your side. KL Rahul 93 points, Rohit Sharma 104. Then towards the end, the big hitting from Hardik Pandya and Rishabh Pant. The bigger question at the moment is, can Zazai put bat to ball? At the moment, it looks like his bat and Shami's ball, same polarity. They're repelling. He connects. Tell you what, it's not a bad stop, that at all. And a bit of a frantic end to the run. Everything's happening here.
Can you see what he tried to do there, Harsha? Just again trying to fetch it from well outside the off stump. Clears his front leg and nearly carries Jasprit Bumrah at mid-wicket there. Did really well to stop the ball.
For a lot of you who are into net run rates, India need to win this by 63 runs or more to get that net run rate to just head into positive. It's minus by a long way. Right, leading edge up. Edge of the circle. Mid-off. Catch is taken. Ravichandran Ashwin and Afghanistan lose their first wicket. Mohammad Shehzad completely turned around. And Shehzad is gone. They've lost their first wicket.
They're trying to shovel it on the onside, only ended up in getting a leading edge. And the leading edge was going nowhere, except for into the hands of Ravichandran Ashwin. So first wicket down. Dangerous. Mohammad Shehzad goes for a duck. It's 13 for 1.
বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার, বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস, বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন, উদ্দেশ্য একটাই, ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা। ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন।
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে, ক্যাশ আউট 14 টাকা 90 পয়সা।
Very young and very impressive. Rahmanullah Gurbaz. The only teenager in the tournament. Strike rate's excellent. Average pretty good too. Already 17 T20 internationals. And that's one of the things you like about Afghanistan. Something you look at with emerging nations. How is their second strength? They came through as a really good bowling side, Afghanistan. But slowly it's the batsmen who are coming through. And Gurbaz is a big factor. Zazai is a big factor. People are getting runs at this level. India going with a second for Jasprit Bumrah. This should be taken as well. This time Shardul Thakur, and they lose their second opener. Just 120 kilometers an hour. He was looking to slow. Was not in position, and India striking growth early with their twin pacers, and that's the end of Zazai.
Harsha, you mentioned the second over for Jasprit Bumrah, and you know the reason why. The importance of getting wickets up top, up front. And Zazai again shaping up to play one on the onside, completely beaten by that disguised slower one. Again, a top edge. And Hazrat Zazai goes for 13. 2 and 2 for India, 13 for 2.
এই টানান তোমাদেরকে লেবুর গুরুত্বটাই বুঝাতে পারলাম না।
ত্বকের জন্য লেবু যে কতটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ তা বুঝেই আমরা মেরিল পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলিকে তৈরি করেছি লেবুর নির্যাস আর ভিটামিন সির গুণ দিয়ে। তাই ত্বকের সম্পূর্ণ সুরক্ষায় ভরসা রাখুন শুধু মেরিল পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলিতেই।
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যাসলিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি, ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ।
Right, here's something interesting. He normally comes in about 6 or 7, does Gulbadin Naib, and gets important runs down the back end. He's now coming in at number 4, average of 19, strike rate 122, but India have played this very differently today. Both quicks in their second over. Wants a single that's not there. And poor Rishabh Pant's going one way, then the other. Eventually, they don't concede the single.
They're trying to play a shot which he likes. Hazrat Zazai just ended up getting a top edge, and look at that. They've needed something to cheer about, and they're getting it tonight.
I think as his game develops, Zazai might start to go a little straighter. At the moment, everything's across. Oh, yes. The bowler seeing red. It's the batsman's helmet. He seems all right, but you have to get the physio in.
Yeah, he's seeing the funny side now. Just ducked into it. Expected the ball to go a touch higher than actually it did, and only ended up pinning him.
Right, how high did that ball go? It didn't go long enough for sure. And a pretty easy catch. Let's see how it went. I like this tracker. 19.5 meters in the air. Just to put that in perspective, that is a distance briefly about the distance between one stump and the other. It's just over 20 meters. So that's about how high it's gone. So Afghanistan 13 for 2. Good to see. Good to see that the physio's on his way back, and good to see that he's going back alone. So Rahmanullah Gurbaz is still in there, but was a rather clumsy attempt to go away from the bounce, to get away from the bouncer.
What are the odds that the next one is going to be a Yorker or something which is going to be pitched up quick, fast, straight, and towards the batsman?
Right, let's put that hypothesis to test. Was the slow one? Murli Karthik. Oh, you know what? You go and meet Jasprit Bumrah this evening. He'll say, Karthik, you were a spinner.
That's why he bowled the off spinner there.
Maybe he just thought, look, he probably wants to get away, probably wants to play a big shot. That's what all of them are doing. He did him in the air.
As a proud spinner would say. He did him in the air.
Just a bit quicker, I think. India, as I said, have gone about completely differently, giving the two best fast bowlers 2 overs up front. Be surprised if you see Shardul Thakur. Good ball again. It's well dug out, actually, in all fairness, by Gulbadin Naib.
I thought this is what he was going to bowl the previous delivery. He ended up bowling the slow and then followed it up with a quick Yorker.
So where are you going next? You're going Shardul Thakur 1 over from Shami's end. Ashwin maybe, depending on which side of the boundary he wants to defend. Maybe Ashwin bowls number 6. But he just back his bowler to one of these two to give him 3. To clear the infield, there's not much timing on it. It was a slow ball. They'll come back for 2. It's a good over this for India again. 4 runs from it and a wicket. 17 for 2.
Oh, green tea, right? আমি তো বলি স্কিন এত সুন্দর কেন? থ্যাঙ্কস, বাট নর্মাল টি। এখন নিশ্চয়ই পার্লারে না, ডিরেক্ট পার্টিতে।
সবাই তো জিলাস হবি। রিভাইভ ময়শ্চারাইজিং লোশন, ডাবল ময়শ্চারে ডাবল কেয়ারে বিউটিফুল স্কিন। রিভাইভ ময়শ্চারাইজিং লোশন।
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে, আর সেন্ট মানি তো ফ্রি।
Ball gone. Afghanistan 17 for 2. Shami's picked up 1 wicket. Bumrah's picked up 1. They've lost both their openers, Shehzad and Zazai. Yes, we're seeing a 3rd over from Mohammad Shami.
Using them differently, isn't it, today? Shami into his 3rd off air. And Harsha were just deliberating if it could be Shardul Thakur or maybe Pandya to finish off the power play. That's the batting card. Zazai for 13, Shehzad, 4 deliveries, ended up pulling 1 out to mid-off. Rahmanullah and Gulbadin promoted up the order.
Yeah, they like Najib batting a little later, and because Asghar Afghan is now retired, will beat the fielder for 4. There's 2 in that fine third man area. It went between them. Well, the thing with Kulbadin Naib is he gets on with it. He was at a 6 already for Afghanistan from the 26 balls that they faced. Bhubaneswar today. Shardul Thakur, there's a lot of fans of Bhubaneswar now hoping he'll come back strongly. Among them. Right, Murli Karthik. There's been a change. The change been announced. Ravi Shastri had decided that he's moving out of his role as coach of the team after this series. Got 2 more games in charge. India have announced today that Rahul Dravid is going to be India's new coach. 2 very different personalities, 2 proud Indian players, but 2 very different personalities. Interesting to see where Indian cricket goes with Rahul Dravid as coach. Ravi Shastri from 2017, straight past the Champions Trophy a year before that. But in this stint, post 2017. Excellent. Ball was 4. And Karthik was just telling me that he rates this young player, Emanullah Gurbaz. You can see why.
He's a class act. Looks so organized. Very sound the way he goes about it. Yes, people might wonder he ducked into one, but that can happen to anyone. But just look at that. Clean striking. Great balance. Sometimes it's also putting away delivery which comes to you, which is offered to you. Shami, not the perfect length which he would have wanted, but Ramanullah ready for it.
So 11 from this over. Right, he's got over that, all right. That's another 6. His strike rate across all T20s is 151. It doesn't matter if India are playing this game differently. Afghanistan are playing it exactly the way they want to.
Putting a top seamer away in disdain. Just look at that. That was the first one over, long on, and then there she goes over mid-wicket. Not the greatest of timing, but it's about putting it across the bowler, and that's exactly what he has done. He's shown the intent to Mohammad Shami.
Likes the length that Shami is bowling at just now. 17 of the over. Make it 4 more. 21 of the over. This time goes on the offside. And Afghanistan have enjoyed this last over from Shami. It's 38 for 2.
ডেলিভারি নেয়ার পরই লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন সুরক্ষায় 10-এ 10।
দাঁতের শিরশির অনুভূতি থেকে আরাম পেতে ডেন্টিস্টরা সেন্সোডাইন ব্যবহারের পরামর্শ দেন।
It's a long chase for the Afghanistan team. The red worm is very much behind. Those 2 wickets are not helping the cause. 38 for 2 at the end of 5. As Hardik Pandya into the attack. Clipped. And there's fair amount of timing on that stroke. Wonderful boundary from Gulbuddin Naib. Bazid, your thoughts? Absolutely wonderful timing. Very, very good from Gulbaden Naib. Fazit Khan joins me.
Yeah, the one thing you know for sure is that Afghanistan will keep batting this way. Yeah, you need a required run rate of over 11. But the way that they play is that they'll take it on.
That's a very good sign. Hardik Pandya with the ball running in. There was always going to be a challenge against the Indian seamers. And they know very well that the top batters of Afghanistan are a real difficult scenario when they're up against the short ball. Anything that's pitched up, it's easy pickings for them. I saw a couple of lusty blows from Gurbaz early on, and the ball that was hit on his head. Reason for that? They're very strong down the ground. The percentage of boundaries are the ones that are pitched up. Anything that's short of length, they are more in discomfort. Just keep bowling there and he'll just keep tripping you for another boundary. Gulbaden Naib might be the man that Afghanistan is looking forward to.
Yeah, pitch up delivery, and that too down the leg side, and it just slipped away. If you ask Gulbaden where he wants it, it's exactly there. Flipped in the air, one bounce into the fence.
It's an important time and an important place that he's been asked to bat. Former captain of Afghanistan, Asghar Afghan, calling it time on his international cricket career. The last game against Namibia that strengthened the onside field now. And they know very well that the strength of Naib is down the ground, so don't feed him the deliveries there.
And we've seen so far in this tournament that back of a length, short of a length has been the way to go on most pitches. And once you go searching for that full length, it's easier for a batsman to hit through the line. Last 10 balls, 30 runs, and most of those runs are pitch-up deliveries.
Yet again, reiterating that fact that it's very easy to use that pace that's on offer. That's a good length. 47. 40.
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যাসলিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ।
আমাদের বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার। বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস, বেস্ট অটোমেটেড মেশিন, উদ্দেশ্য একটাই, ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা। ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন।
ডেলিভারি নেয়ার পরই লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন, সুরক্ষায় 10-এ 10।
ঠিক আছে, খরচ কমছে। ক্যাশ আউট 14 টাকা 90 পয়সা।
Lowest power play score for Afghanistan so far in the tournament. 2 for 47. Power play is done. Spin is on. Ravindra Jadeja. Wasn't it difficult to anticipate that the spinners will come on just after the power play?
Yeah, pace off. Now, thing is that Afghanistan don't have the luxury of sitting in for a couple of overs because they're chasing and target in excess of 200. So, yes, a couple of dot balls and a single. So, it's halfway through the over and it's already shaping up as a good over. You have to take that risk.
He's also been very, very cautious of the fact that you don't want to offer any time to either of these two batters to come down the wicket. They pack a punch in the strike. Any room that is offered, you want to stay clear of that. Ravindra Jadeja, make sure that he gets the pace on the ball. That's high. Is it the distance or no? Hardik Pandya has found everything right going for him. Barring those couple of injuries that he picked up in the batting, he's done well there again.
Was coming, the risk was coming. Tried to go downtown, just dragged it leg side, but this is a good catch. It's gone high into the sky. There's a lot of hang time on that. But a wicket for Jadeja. Gurbaz out for 1948 for 3.
কেউ ভাবুক আর না ভাবুক, নিজের এবং পরিবারের সুরক্ষার দায়িত্বটা রাখুন নিজের হাতে। ব্যবহার করুন সেপনিল স্যানিটাইজিং হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ।
সেপনিল, সুরক্ষার পাওয়ার আপনার হাতে। আমাদের বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার। বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস, বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন। উদ্দেশ্য একটাই, ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা। ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন।
Slighted flighted delivery this time to Gulbuddin Naib. 49 for 3.
শিরশির অনুভূতিকে দ্রুত হার মানান সেন্সোডাইন র্যাপিড রিলিফের সঙ্গে।
মাঝখানে ভ্যানিলা ক্রিম আর দুই পাশে বিস্কুট, ইয়াম্মি মজা। তাই এখন ক্রিমও খাও নিজের স্টাইলে।
নিউজিল্যান্ড ডেয়ারি, এক্সেলেন্স ইন কোয়ালিটি।
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেন্ট মানে তো ফ্রি।
Yet again, there's another dot with the bright worm, the red worm. The latest casualty was Ramanullah Gurbaz. More spin coming from the Indian team. Ravichandran Ashwin playing his very first game in this T20 World Cup. Vastly experienced. First T20 international in 4 years. Good start. And what a catch this time. It was Hardik Pandya who was following that ball. It went very high in the air. Steadied himself. And a very, very good safe catch. You enjoyed that, Buzzard?
Yeah, the catch is brilliant. And once it goes that high, you've got time underneath the ball, thinking about it coming down. You have to judge it perfectly, and it's terrific. We tend to just think that these catches are taken, run of the mill, and sort of, it's a skill that makes it look so easy. It is very, very difficult to actually judge the depth when it goes into the night sky.
Highest wicket taker for India in T20 World Cups, Ravichandran Ashwin, has had a long wait for 4 years to get his opportunity in T20 internationals. And he's bowling really, really well. Started well. Straight away has gone round the wicket to the left-hander. There's a deep mid-wicket.
Most wickets in T20 World Cups. 20. And I'm going to sight for sore eyes. People outside of India will be thinking why he hasn't played for so long. Your best spinners going around.
Yeah, Virat Kohli there with 843 runs. Player of the tournament twice. 51 for 3.
এইটা নেন তোমাদেরকে লেবুর গুরুত্বটাই বুঝাতে পারলাম না
ত্বকের জন্য লেবু যে কতটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ তা বুঝেই আমরা মেরিল পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলিকে তৈরি করেছি লেবুর নির্যাস আর ভিটামিন সির গুণ দিয়ে তাই ত্বকের সম্পূর্ণ সুরক্ষায় ভরসা রাখুন শুধু মেরিল পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলিতেই
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যাসলিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ
It's not going to be very, very easy. Whilst there has been a slight bit of dew setting in, you already see the towels coming out. It's not going to be so very easy for the batters to offer the paddle shot or the reverse sweep. Najib's had a good outing against Scotland, had a very good partnership. And he'll need a lot of that. He's taken power and timing to that delivery from Ravindra Jadeja for a maximum.
Just in the arm, slightly outside the off stump, so a free swing off those arms. And he was going leg side, he's got enough power, but because of the fact that the ball was outside off stump, he was able to smash it leg side.
Yet again, tightening that width that he offered, going towards the leg stump.
What Jadeja will do really well is not give the batsman any time, either with his bowling and also with the speed of the deliveries that he bowls or gets through the over so quickly. So you look up and he's back on his mark and he just sort of hustles you so much, and his over is almost, what, 2 minutes? And that means that's pressure on the batsman as well. So suddenly you look up and he's bowled 2 overs already.
Yeah, overs done. 58 for 3.
আমাদের বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন উদ্দেশ্য একটাই ঘরে ঘরে ব্যবহার অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে ক্যাশ আউট 14 টাকা 90 পয়সা
And the Indian team are going to really ensure that they are quick through these overs, this middle period. Afghanistan, its required run rate is climbing, getting closer to 14. You would feel that Ravichandran Ashwin, who's obviously been the highest run wicket taker for the Indian team in the 20 games that he's played for India so far. Economy rate against the right-handers is 7.10, and against the left-handers is 5.81. That's worth a shout. Undoubtedly, the umpire feels that is adjacent to the stumps. Having a quick chat to his partner. Does he take the review? Does he walk? I think he's walking. Couple of seconds.
The pressure telling, it was building up, the flick out of the front of the hands, skids on too full for that shot, and that is bang in front. Thank God he didn't review that, because that was hitting middle right in the center. Within out for 18, it's 59 for 4.
সবুজ বিপ্লবের স্বপ্নদ্রষ্টা জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের ছবি দিয়ে তৈরি বিশ্বের সর্ববৃহৎ শস্যচিত্র এবার স্থান সবুজ বিপ্লবের স্বপ্নদ্রষ্টা জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের ছবি দিয়ে তৈরি বিশ্বের সর্ববৃহৎ শস্যচিত্র এবার স্থান করে নিল গিনেস বুক অব ওয়ার্ল্ড রেকর্ডসে। বাংলাদেশের এই গৌরবময় অর্জনের অংশীদার হতে পেরে ন্যাশনাল এগ্রি কেয়ার গর্বিত।
এনএসসি ন্যাশনাল এগ্রি কেয়ার ইস্যু স্বপ্ন ফলাই।
কিন্তু প্যানেলের গ্যারান্টি শুধুমাত্র কঙ্কা এলজিটিভি দিচ্ছে প্যানেলের 4 বছরের গ্যারান্টি।
বুঝতেই পারছেন কি হবে স্মার্ট ডিসিশন।
কঙ্কা সাধ্যের মধ্যে সবটুকু।
ডেলিভারি নেয়ার পরই লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন, সুরক্ষায় 10-10।
দাঁতের শিরশির অনুভূতি থেকে আরাম পেতে ডেন্টিস্টরা সেন্সোডাইন ব্যবহারের পরামর্শ দেন।
So Afghanistan lose their 4th inside 10 overs. Haven't changed their approach though. If they do go down, they'll go down swinging. Talking of which, swinging Sammy's joined me in the commentary box.
Easy.
Excellent over so far from Ravichandran Ashwin. His first T20I wicket since August 2016. He's waited a while for that. Now he's got to bowl another. But he started well in his second over, 1 for 5. And was only headed one way. It was flicked out on the front of his hand. Bit like that one. 3 runs of the over and a wicket, 61 for 4 from 10.
ভাবছেন এসি চালালেই বাড়বে বিদ্যুৎ বিল? আরে যদি থাকে গ্রি, নো চিন্তা, ডু চিল। গ্রি এসির ইনভার্টার টেকনোলজি বাঁচায় বিদ্যুৎ খরচ আর পরিবেশ বান্ধব গ্যাস বাঁচায় পরিবেশ। গ্রি এসি একটু বেশি ঠান্ডা।
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেন্ট মানি তো ফ্রি।
Right there in Sammy Howard, Afghanistan going to play this. The Indian segment of the crowd has found its voice again. It's taken them a third match to find their voice. Now Shardul Thakur.
Well, Thakur is back in the attack now. But it's a mountain of a task ahead of Afghanistan. India have really dominated them after being asked to bat first. The batters we knew could dominate. There's the wicket. Ashwin. Canny bowler. Easy decision for the umpire. Thump.
We might have given it to. Could it be? Check out the winning play of the day at T20worldcup.com/POTD. So India have done everything right today. The question is, have they left it till too late? And that's a question in the minds of all the fans. Rishabh Pant at 3 worked, Hardik Pandya at 4 worked. So far, the inclusion of Ravichandran Ashwin has worked. Question is it too late?
You only got themselves to blame. First game, we talked about Pakistan, who they normally have success against in World Cups. That did not go well. That they find themselves winless. That will definitely change today.
So just to remind you once again, for India to make the semi-final, they depend on the outcome of New Zealand versus Afghanistan. And it's never a nice thing to depend on somebody else. New Zealand, on the other hand, now have everything in their own hands. But because the New Zealand have beaten India, their future lies in their own hands.
Yeah. It's also like that for the West Indies, who have slim chance. But most times you want your destiny in your own hands.
Let's go back to a magic moment at a time when India were able to make the semi-final.
It will go for 4. It's Virat Kohli who finishes it. It's India. They reach another final.
He didn't bat today, Virat Kohli, preferring to send out Rishabh Pant at 3, Pandya at 4. But the Kohli you saw in that picture there, 14, going all the way through to 15, 16, 17, is just unstoppable.
Like he was scoring runs for fun. For finishing games, he was the master of a chase. They needed some of that early up in the World Cup.
5 of Shardul Thakur's first over, 66 for 4.
কেউ ভাবুক আর না ভাবুক, নিজের এবং পরিবারের সুরক্ষার দায়িত্বটা রাখুন নিজের হাতে। ব্যবহার করুন সেপনিল স্যানিটাইজিং হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ।
সেপ্টেল, সুরক্ষার পাওয়ার আপনার হাতে।
Pakistan got 46 in the power play. That was their lowest score. That just tells you what their approach is like. India, on the other hand, got to 53, I think, just significantly above what they got in the games against Pakistan and New Zealand. Ashwin with his third. Oh, it's a good ball again. Very good ball. He often talks, Darren, about even if you're a finger spinner, challenging both edges of the bat. You can see he's doing that here.
He's attacking the stumps as well, bringing the batsman technique into play. It just shows how dominant India has been. You know, the caliber of players they've produced. Ashwin, I think it took about 4 years since he last played T20 for India.
Giving you ideas, Darren? Giving you ideas?
Yeah. You're always a threat, man. T20 cricket.
Fit enough, Darren? So much happening out there inside the circle.
It would have been a brilliant piece of captaincy. He just brought Rohit further in this position.
From where I think the box there, just to make sure it goes soft signal not out.
Copy that. Third umpire, director. Umpire review for the fair catch, the fair delivery, and soft signal is not out. Please give me the best angle. Do you have another angle for me, please? For me, please. Can you zoom for me, please? Okay. Roll back. Roll back. Go forward. Yeah. So do you have another angle for me? Looks like. Yeah. Roll forward. Yeah. Ball was grounded. Yeah. The second is
Do remember that once the on-field umpire's soft signal is not out, the third umpire has to find conclusive evidence to overturn the on-field umpire's decision. You will never ever get enough evidence on those replays. And so you go with what the on-field umpire is doing. Just beats the man. Just beats the man. Would have got a single with the wide anyway. It was an excellent effort though by Rohit Sharma.
Good work by Ami.
Eleven of 12, Najib. He likes to play big shots. Not on this occasion. Ashwin just too clever for him. Went reverse, the ball went straight. And Ashwin picks up another. And Afghanistan in their quest for quick runs, losing quick wickets. And that's the end of Najib for 11.
The pressure of scoring. It's a way too short for him. Ashwin was just too clever. Rajan departs. Afghanistan 69 for 5.
এইটা নেন তোমাদেরকে লেবুর গুরুত্বটাই বোঝাতে পারলাম না
ত্বকের জন্য লেবু যে কতটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ তা বুঝেই আমরা মেরিল পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলিকে তৈরি করেছি লেবুর নির্যাস আর ভিটামিন সির গুণ দিয়ে তাই ত্বকের সম্পূর্ণ সুরক্ষায় ভরসা রাখুন শুধু মেরিল পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলিতেই
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যালভিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ
The new batsman in is Kareem Jannat. 23 years old, young man, bowls big. But he's come in with Afghanistan in tatters here. Ashwin has 2 for 8 in his third over. He finishes third, 2 for 9. Just 4 runs off the over. It's 70 for 5.
বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন উদ্দেশ্য একটাই ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে ক্যাশ আউট 14 টাকা 90 পয়সা
Right, Kohli's gone back to Ravindra Jadeja. 2 overs, 1 for 9 for him. 2 left-handers, both of whom like to take on the bowling. They kept going. Afghanistan kept playing their shots, but they kept losing wickets. Zazai for 13, Rahmanullah 19 of 10. You can see that Gulbadin, he played a few shots. Then Najib 71 for 5. And I think Mazhar had given us some stats some time ago. For India's net run rate to get into positive, they have to win by 63 or more. At this stage, Afghanistan need 140.
Here's Ashwin. Very clever. Runs drying up. Batsmen trying all sorts. Get the ball off the square.
That was too straight, too close to the body. Play that shot, never really got the extension in his arms to be able to play that. Dare I say, for all this talk about net run rate, to stay alive, but only just. What this means to Afghanistan will be interesting, Darren. Will it go to the boundary? Yes, it will eventually. Just beats the man on the boundary at long leg. Jasprit Bumrah.
A rare boundary for Afghanistan. You could see Mohammed Nabi coming inside. It's actually Janat with the pace. The Deja is bowling. He just had to place it. Not good so far. In the ball nicely.
It's just a style they've adopted. This is how we're going to play in T20 cricket. First sign of the towels out. This is how we're going to play in T20 cricket. We'll keep going. Still got Rashid Khan at 8 to come, so not a bad batting lineup. 10 of the over. It's 80 for 5.
ডেলিভারি নেয়ার পরই লাইফ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন, সুরক্ষায় 10-10।
দাঁতের শিরশির অনুভূতি থেকে আরাম পেতে ডেন্টিস্টরা সেন্সোডাইন ব্যবহারের পরামর্শ দেন।
A wonderful initiative. Break the stigma around mental health. And I just hope we have many, many more discussions about this, because we're starting to realize, like a physical ailment, it's an ailment too. We need to respect it. Talking about mental health challenges, it can be difficult because of past stereotypes, but it's very important, and you can check out on that website there. Some conversation starters, there's some tips there. Hashtag on my mind, uni.cf/on my mind. Love to get a modern cricketer's view on that, Darren, because sometimes you can think that it's weak and not give it the attention it deserves.
Definitely something that we should all talk about, especially in this time. You know, cricket for the last 2 years taken a different turn where your mental toughness has been questioned. We have so many bubbles, quarantine period. It really plays on your mind. Someone who've experienced it, we are in one. Yes, it's a good initiative by the ICC and UNICEF to raise awareness.
You as captain ever have situations like that? You looked at a player and said, you know, he's struggling. Physically, everything's fine, but he's struggling.
You could tell. You tend to question why certain things is not happening. And you are rightly so. In sports, you learn not to show weakness. But now the conversation allows you to have these discussions. Ashwin bowls another tight over. 85 for 5 after 40.
Oh, green tea, right? তো বলি স্কিন এত সুন্দর কেন? থ্যাঙ্কস, বাট নর্মাল টি। তো নিশ্চয়ই পার্লারে না, ডিরেক্ট পার্টিতে।
সবাই তো জিলাস হবেই। রিভাইভ ময়শ্চারাইজিং লোশন, ডাবল ময়শ্চারে ডাবল কেয়ারে বিউটিফুল স্কিন। রিভাইভ ময়শ্চারাইজিং লোশন।
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে, আর সেন্ট মানি তো ফ্রি।
Excellent from Ravichandran Ashwin. 4 overs, 2 for 14. Half his balls weren't scored off. Did not concede a boundary. Wicket in his second over, wicket in his third. Back with Bumrah. Just made a very seamless entry back into India's T20 side. 5th time in 47 games that he hasn't conceded a boundary. Those were his 2 wickets.
It's always asking questions of the batter. People tacking the stumps. Could be an option for Nissan play of the day.
He always hits the stumps. And if you are a fielder, you cannot be, or a non-striker, you cannot be caught napping, or the striker in this case.
Umpire review for run out. Please give me the best side angle, please. Roll back, roll back. No problem. I made my decision. My decision is
He was in, but he was caught napping a bit. He is brilliant at hitting the stumps, Jadeja. I did an event with him once where he had to turn around blind and hit a target. It's amazing how often he was doing it. Oh, short. He didn't like the pace. Two people didn't like the pace. Karim Jannat out on the ground. Darren Sammy in the commentary box was ducking.
I was ducking. Yeah. Caribbean will say that's some pepper. Hot. That's what you talk about, Jadeja. Always in the action. One of the most powerful throws in the game.
Just watch wherever he can. He's always throwing base of the stump. He's always knocking off the base of the stump.
Yes, he gets to the ball so quickly. Look at how many runs he saved.
You call it pepper, do you? Pepper.
It's like fire. Tastes like pepper. That means it's hot, man.
No chilies? He's got so much variety.
That's the arm. Look at that. Whew. Again, I say pepper.
So who was the most pepper bowler you ever faced?
Yes, Sean Tate. He was here earlier, I think. Oh, yes. It's definitely in the Afghan camp.
3 runs from that over. India cruising here, 15 gone. Afghanistan 88 for 5.
দেশের একমাত্র 100% পিওর ভ্যাসলিন পেট্রোলিয়াম জেলি ত্বকের যত্নে মায়ের স্পর্শের মতোই বিশুদ্ধ।
আমাদের বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার, বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস, বেস্ট অটোমেটেড মেশিন। উদ্দেশ্য একটাই, ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা। ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন।
ডেলিভারি নেয়ার পরই লাইভ বয় হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ দিয়ে হাত ধুয়ে থাকুন, সুরক্ষায় 10-এ 10।
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে, ক্যাশ আউট 1014 টাকা 90 পয়সা।
Five down now. Afghanistan. Stiff target. 211. And this is their progress through the various phases into the final one now. Just about. And India have done the job, or are doing the job as they'd like. First up, get runs on the board. Yes, would have liked to chase, but that wasn't their choice. Batsmen, bowlers, both doing a good job.
You can fairly say that they have been out-batted so far in the contest. Karim Jannat, Ahmed Nabi, they have a humongous task ahead of them. Chase down 122.
A bit disappointing for India is that they couldn't quite get going from the onset in the tournament. Oh, wow. That has been smashed. It's gone a long way.
Strong wrists coming into play there. It just looks very nice, very pleasing to the eyes of the batter when the ball goes that high and that distance. It's not an easy stroke. Did you ever practice playing that?
No chance.
were you ever hit that far by any batter?
Probably a few times. Escapes the memory as well quite quickly.
There are people who keep reminding you.
Like you. Yeah, I was just saying, it'd be disappointing for India. Big side, top players to a man. You look through down their list, and the expectation would be that because they're superstars, they'd be able to deliver pretty much on tap. And big tournament, turn up for it, and make sure of it. What's evident is that it doesn't quite work that way. No team wants to be in a situation where they're hoping others do this and do that in order that they can be okay and get through to the next stage.
It's just not been that tournament for India so far where they've hit the ground running. To be fair, they've been running quite a while. For the last 6 months, 7 months, they've been on the road. It was just one of those days that started the tournament. Things didn't go well. First game against Pakistan, the second against New Zealand, and they find themselves pretty much lower placed on that table in Group 2. Looking for that first win and a better run rate just to keep themselves alive in the competition. The first 20 overs were definitely the way India wanted to bat, but have been more identified with in terms of batting, the style, the play, the aggression. Single to finish the 16, 98 for 5.
শিরশির অনুভূতিকে দ্রুত হার মানান সেন্সোডাইন র্যাপিড রিলিফের সঙ্গে।
মাঝখানে ভ্যানিলা ক্রিম আর দুই পাশে বিস্কুট, ইয়াম্মি মজা। তাই এখন ক্রিমও খাও নিজের স্টাইলে।
নিউজিল্যান্ড ডেয়ারি এক্সেলেন্স ইন কোয়ালিটি।
বিকাশে ক্যাশ আউট চার্জ কমছে আর সেন্ট মানি তো ফ্রি।
That's where it stands at the moment. At a time, you'd say 113 from 24 too many. India dominant tonight. Their batters first, and then their bowlers knocking the stuffing out of Afghanistan. Ensuring that it's been all blue tonight. It's in the gap. It's in the gap. Just about got there, Jadeja, but couldn't keep it in field. It's for the Janat.
Yeah, it was in the gap, and it stayed in that gap. Virat Kohli thought that Ravindra Jadeja would be stopping it. That slide came in slightly later. He had already overrun the ball, Ravindra Jadeja.
Spin. Nobody shouted. Brings up 100 for Afghanistan. A win by 63 or more gets their net run rate positive. India. Yeah, many have already likened Naveen to Jasprit Bumrah. Have a look, and you might think it's all a bit, different at the moment, but keep watching and see what happens right at the end here. The hyperextension of the elbow as it goes over, arm close in, all pretty similar. Different paces, yes. Yeah, smiling as he watches. Wide and put away by Nabi.
The pace on the ball. Just open the back face.
Something to say. No, you say, you don't see it on. It's not quite the same, you might say, as you sit there. Well, how about from the side? Brace front leg. Look at that hyperextension. In the end, just rush batsman. Wide. That's why you get many saying just hits the bat. Bumrah bowls it quicker. And have that much of a run up, seems to kind of lollop up and amble, and then all work at the crease and long levers. It's over that brace front leg really well. Energy's going in the right direction.
Naveen has come a long way. Played in 2019, debuted in 2019, played the 2018 ICC Under-19 World Cup. I would have seen a lot of Jasprit Bumrah over the years. Not that he would have changed his action seeing him, but it's just the consistency that we're talking about, the speed. I'm sure he's going to get a few yards quicker. The paces, try to emulate Jasprit Bumrah there. Of course, he's picked up a wicket. (109 for 5). And the more you play in different T20 leagues around the world, the more you play competitive cricket around the world, it just tends to become slightly better.
Off the field, Hardik Pandya. In the wars. Low to the arm. 109 for 5.
আমাদের বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার, বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস, বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন। উদ্দেশ্য একটাই, ঘরে ঘরে এমন অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা। ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন।
বিকাশে খরচ কমছে, ক্যাশ আউট 1014 টাকা 90 পয়সা।
Key member of India's side, true in all phases, and is particularly slippery. Good Yorker, good slower ball, just a quality performer. Skillful. One of the best in the world. Oh, nearly. Ishan Kishan, who's on the field, had to attack it. Did that, but couldn't quite get there.
They're standing right on the boundary there. Ishan Kishan is on as a substitute for Hardik Pandya. Very good effort. Excellent effort.
He's gone at it again. Ishan Kishan with ideas of getting a catch, but he can only watch as it sails for 6. Good strike by Nabi.
And the captain just shows the young player at the other end how to hit that ball, even if it's a knuckle ball, doesn't matter. The moment you get the timing right, the moment you get this free flow of the bat, and the intention is to go down the ground, it does go the distance. Four more. Goes shorter in length. Shardul Thakur. Mohammad Nabi is not going to miss out. They come in numbers to support their team, the Afghanistan fans. They are out there loud. Something more to feel happy and rejoice. More runs.
Completing the job here for India is also keeping the runs down from Afghanistan. Beat them by as much as you can, as many as you can. And it's clutching, I know. But their tournament has been reduced to that. That's one of the things they must do in doing as much as is possible to try and give themselves the best chance. As it plays out, well, New Zealand with a couple of games, play Namibia and play Afghanistan. If they win both those, then that's done. That's that. Away they go. But if not, One, 2, 5, 4, 5.
কেউ বুঝুক আর না বুঝুক, নিজের এবং পরিবারের সুরক্ষার দায়িত্বটা রাখুন নিজের হাতে। ব্যবহার করুন সেপনিল ডিসইনফেক্ট্যান্ট স্প্রে।
সেপ্টেল, সুরক্ষার পাওয়ার আপনার হাতে।
কেমন কেমন কাজ
ন্যাশনালি
Partnership is 56 from 39. They've struck some blows, have Nabi and Janat. India trying to finish things off here. Just the 12 balls to go. For Afghanistan, well, their batters would like to strike a few more, ensure that they get something out of the game. Oh, that again. Some confidence, some range hitting, perhaps. Whoa. Out's taken. He swung hard at that. Slower ball though. And so not quite getting the timing he'd like.
Yeah, he didn't get the perfect timing. He's hit a few big blows down the ground, especially Captain Mohammad Nabi. Then tried to go over the shorter side of the ground. finds the man. Doesn't drop many. That's Jadeja. Mohammad Nabi departs for 35 on 26 for 6.
He's gone as well. Straight up. Oh, wow! Robin Temptation. What a beauty! You tell by the celebrations just how good it is. It's an incredible catch.
Yeah, I can see the
Battle director, umpire review for the fair catch, the fair delivery. Please give me the best side angle. The soft signal is out. Cleanly. Roll forward, roll forward, roll forward.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, he can't believe it, Ravi Jadeja. I wish it was, but I can understand why TV ump says it isn't out. It's an absolutely incredible effort. But just as he gets there, he doesn't quite have it in hand. And it's sort of between the fingers, the ring finger of the left hand and the pinky. And it seems as it hits the ground helps the ball into the hand. That's what it seems as you watch it in slow motion. What an effort. What a pity. Taken. No questions this time. Hardik Pandya back on and comfortably pouches that.
I just had to go at it out of a lot of pain for the target that they're chasing and unable to get closer to that. Rashid Khan tries to go very, very hard. The intention is always right. There's too many on the board still to get. Goes without scoring first ball on 27 for 7.
কেউ ভাবুক আর না ভাবুক, নিজের এবং পরিবারের সুরক্ষার দায়িত্বটা রাখুন নিজের হাতে। ব্যবহার করুন সেপনিল স্যানিটাইজিং হ্যান্ড ওয়াশ।
সেপনিল, সুরক্ষার পাওয়ার আপনার হাতে। আমাদের বেকম্যানদেরও আছে কিছু সুপার পাওয়ার, বেস্ট ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস, বেস্ট অটোমেটিক মেশিন। উদ্দেশ্য একটাই, ঘরে ঘরে ব্যবহার অসাধারণ কিছু মুহূর্ত তৈরি করা। ইটস আ বেকম্যানস ক্রিয়েশন।
Sharafudin in. Back for a couple. Yeah, going for the big shots straight away. Rashid Khan doesn't quite time it. Perhaps he'll feel he timed it okay. He needed to get it some more loft so they could clear that fielder. Mohamed Shami with 3 wickets tonight. 3 for 32. One more ball to bowl, with slower balls being bowled and these big boundaries. These boundaries to play with. Getting a few caught in the D. .130 for 7. Australia against Bangladesh. Tomorrow's the first game, 2 p.m. and it's live from Dubai. Each one a key game. West Indies, Sri Lanka follows that at 6 p.m. from right here at the Zayed Cricket Stadium. Hey, how about this? Look at how high this goes. 31.4 meters. And it's in the air for just over 5 seconds. Just an excellent effort. Yeah, by all accounts, he's taken that. They were shocked at, there's the reaction, at the decision that it wasn't out.
Jadeja almost ran 30 meters there.
Incredible. Top effort. Only him, too, is so quick. Shot. Pandya to bowl the second one. Cut away beautifully by Janat.
He's made 1,000 international T20 runs. 1,000 T20 runs. 30 meters, definitely. He sprinted in from the boundary, Ravindra Jadeja. And those safe hands of his just missed, having one more catch to his credit. Very good knock, KL Rahul, alongside Rohit Sharma. 140 the opening partnership. Later Rishabh Pant, Hardik Pandya came and played their part. Very good batting display from the Indian team.
You were talking about 1,000 runs in T20s. More joy than on other nights for the Indian fans. So much to cheer with so many runs scored. A good evening in Abu Dhabi. And they sit, they wait, they hope.
It's such a joy to have when the Indian fans are there in the stadium. It's such a lovely thing now that we're seeing more and more fans come into the ground, support their teams. Nothing like playing in front of them. The energy that the players get, the feed off from the crowd, and get clicked too. longer part of the boundary. Just a single.
So to break it down again with one ball to go in this one, India net run rate, that's what it's about, and a good victory here, a big victory, means that they improve that, they go to positive. They watch, though, in the rest of the group, what happens. What does New Zealand do? They win both their games, they're through. Six to finish. Top shot by Janat. This one's done. India win by 66 in Abu Dhabi.
What a comprehensive win for the Indian team. It's taken a while coming. It's been a lot of hard work coming in from the players, from the support staff. And today was the day that a lot of things fell in place. Right from the batting department to the bowling. A couple of very good catches. KL Rahul. Outstanding knock of 69, along with Rohit Sharma. Afghanistan will find themselves a little hard done. The target they were asked to chase. The bowlers didn't live up to their reputation today.
So India win here in Abu Dhabi. They win by 66 runs against Afghanistan. And now as they walk off the field, it's to Afghanistan they look. When they play New Zealand, the hope is that they can turn New Zealand over. And then their job, India, would then be to win against Namibia and against Scotland. But win big. That's their chance. That's how they could get through to the semi-finals. For Afghanistan, well, they hope that they can beat New Zealand. That's their hope. For New Zealand, they win their 2 games, and then they're through. The permutations, the combinations of this group 2. Whilst Pakistan looks on and waits. This is the batting of Afghanistan.
Yeah, they had to chase and go hard at the ball. A target of 211. Zazai and Shahzad were definitely the ones that they were looking up to, giving them just on 13. Both of them departed. Ramanullah Gurbaz, Gulbuddin Naik coming in, steadied the ship just for a bit. And then it was way too much for the middle order and the lower order to go out there and get the required run rate. Much, much better and an improved bowling performance. Ashwin, the very first game, he's playing in this T20 World Cup after 4 years, gets a couple of wickets in the T20 internationals. Jadeja chipped into 3 wickets for Shami, and the ever economy rate of Jasprit Bumrah for Team India.
So the summary then, 210 for 2, having been asked to bat first by Nabi, Rohit and KL Rahul going so well up at the front. Pandya finishing off with punt. 144 for 7 in their 20 means India win by 66 runs. A good win, a convincing win for India. Downstairs now to Harsha Bogle.
Yes, and to nobody's surprise, Rohit Sharma is the player of the match. Little trophy for you, Rohit. Thank you. Now 74 or 47, you went for it right from the start. Was that something you planned before?
Yeah, that was the idea. We wanted to get off to a good start, which didn't happen in the first 2 games that we played. So there was a conscious effort to get off to a good start and lay the platform for the other batters to come and, express themselves as well. But yeah, I mean, exceptional batting from KL as well from the other end. that partnership was very crucial from the team's perspective.
What are the kind of discussions, say, you and Rahul or you would have had before this? And were you surprised that you were asked to bat first?
I mean, yeah, looking at the trend, I think they, whatever games they played, they batted first. So we were prepared actually to field first. But nevertheless, it was a good pitch to bat on. We were put to bat, getting off to a good start and then getting to a respectable total was very important from our side. But again, when we came into this game, we wanted to understand and we knew that the run rate could come into play. We wanted to win by a big margin, so glad we could pull that off.
You're doing a very good job of hearing me with all this sound around.
Yeah.
Do we get to see this Rohit Sharma going ahead every time, someone who goes hard up front?
I mean, yes. Whatever the team requires, honestly, I got to do that. Today was necessary for us to get off to a good start. That's naturally not what I do. I would like to assess, play my time in, and then go on to play the innings. But today we wanted to get off to a good start, and that didn't happen in the first two games, which is why we were making that conscious effort to play those cricketing shots, not to just come and slog.
Enjoyed watching you bat. You're moving that trophy around like it's a bat in your hand, but nonetheless, well played today.
Thank you very much.
So this is what it's like then. 8 and qualified Pakistan. Afghanistan, good net run rate, plus 1.48. They have 4 points. New Zealand, 4 points, but 3 games played. And their 2 games they play, one is against Afghanistan, the other against Namibia. India, 3 games played as well. Got a couple of games, Namibia and Scotland, but they have 2 points. And so they hope Afghanistan can do them a favor by beating New Zealand and they can get enough points. India, in terms of net run rate in the 2 games they play. Still kind of convoluted for some, for others, pretty simple. And he made it look pretty simple today. Back in form, vintage Rohit Sharma. Some fantastic shots to earn him the player of the match.
Be it cricket or any career, if you want to get to the next level, you have to keep learning because there are no shortcuts. So what are you waiting for? Log on to Great Learning and power your career with online courses from the world's best universities. Power ahead with Great Learning.
in this contest.
Mohammad Nabi alongside us. Your normal approach is to go and bat first, set a target. You did it differently. What was the thought process behind that?
Bismillah ar-Rahman. Yeah, it's also we bat first. In this game, we try to bat second because of the dew, and also the wicket look really good for the batting as well. Yeah.
And unfortunately, there wasn't much dew today.
Yeah, it's at the end wasn't that much dew, but the pitch was proper for the batting. India bat really well in this pitch and put under pressure our bowler here.
I'm fascinated by your approach. Is this how it's always going to be for Afghanistan? Just go boom, 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 keep going.
Not always. It's we try to rotate the start in the middle, but in the today game we didn't strike rotate well in the middle. But we throw only wickets. That's why we are under pressure in the game. Yeah, in the middle.
You've got a couple of big games coming up. Wish you well.
Yeah, well, hopefully we in the last game we won the game. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mohammad Nabi, captain of Afghanistan. And now time to... Wasn't too bad batting first then.
Look, I mean, much better wicket as well, to be fair. We just spoke about the fact that, you know, in the other two games as well, if we just had 2 overs of that kind of a free-flowing, you know, batting capability that we have, if we had that representation in the last 2 games, couple of overs, then that sends a message across to the opposition that, you know, we're going to put you under the pump, and you know, when the situation gets tough, we are willing to take a risk. And when we do that, of course, we know how we can play, but sometimes you do give into pressure, and you have to accept that as a side.
Do teams spend a lot of time discussing before games like these, given the start that you've had? This is how we're going to play, specific roles, we'll keep the batting order flexible, or is that tactical, instantaneous?
No, I think it's T20 cricket is a very instinctive game when it comes to batting, bowling, you know, or decision making as well. So we make a lot of decisions on the go. Obviously, the top 3 is more or less set, unless something like today happens where, you know, the guys batted brilliantly through to over 14, and then our power hitters become on immediately, you know, right from ball 1, and we saw what they can do with the bat as well. So we do take these decisions on the go, but you don't really decide that, you know, you're going to go all out. Obviously, you back the guys out there to do the job because they're so skillful, but sometimes it just doesn't come off. But when it does, like today, we know how we can bat.
Can we expect more of this approach going ahead, that you trust your batting deep down and go harder up front?
Yes, for sure. I mean, that was the idea from the first game onwards. But to give credit to the oppositions, I think they bowled really well and didn't let us get away with anything. And as I said, sometimes when you do give into pressure, you have to accept that as a side. But look, we are looking in a very optimistic way in what lies ahead, and we're definitely going to play in this manner for sure.
Was net run rate on the back of your mind?
It was. I mean, if we have to be very honest, I mean, we knew that we have some kind of a chance, and we spoke in the team meeting before that we have to focus on that chance rather than thinking what has gone bad. We as a side have always been positive, so we're going to look at the positive side and hunt that chance down if we can in these 3 games. So, yeah, let's see what happens from here on.
Of all the positives today, the openers, the way Rohit and Rahul batted, the way Ashwin bowled, the way Rishabh batted, the way Hardik batted, what pleased you the most as a captain?
I think the return of Ash, that's something that, you know, he's really worked hard for. And we saw this kind of control and ability in the IPL where he bowled about that.
2 games coming up where you've got to play with that net run rate. Again, looking forward to seeing that.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Right, thank you very much.
Look at this points table once again, and they'll be looking at it as it goes along. Those games particularly important. Pakistan done, they're waiting and they're watching. Afghanistan, well, they win their game against New Zealand. They go to 6, they've got a healthy net run rate, and they would hope that, well, New Zealand don't win by too much if they play against Namibia. In fact, they would hope that Namibia can upset New Zealand. That way, they get through. New Zealand have it in their hands, and India hope New Zealand can go down to Afghanistan. They keep coming, these games here at the Men's T20 World Cup. Australia, Bangladesh over to Group 1, particularly important. There are 2 games, that's the first of them, and that's from Dubai tomorrow afternoon. Then it's the West Indies against Sri Lanka, and that comes to you from here in Abu Dhabi. It's been good this evening. We hope you've enjoyed it. From all of us, it's goodbye.
Sharma, 23rd 50. Great way to get to your half century.
$210 for two.
Just taken. Not on this occasion. Ashwin just too clever for him.
The game, love the game. Right away, selection.
ভাই সাউন্ডটা একটু বাড়ায় দেন।
এবার চলবে খেলা ফুল এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে। আইসিসি টি20 ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ ও ইংলিশ প্রিমিয়ার লিগ দেখুন র্যাবিট হলে মাত্র 99 টাকায়।
কিছু বুঝতে পারছি না।
ভাই সাউন্ডটা একটু বাড়ায় দেন।
এবার চলবে খেলা ফুল এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে। আইসিসি টি20 ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ ও ইংলিশ প্রিমিয়ার লিগ দেখুন র্যাবিট হলে মাত্র 99 টাকায়।
কিছু বুঝতে পারছি না।
ভাই সাউন্ডটা একটু বাড়ায় দেন।
এবার চলবে খেলা ফুল এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে। আইসিসি টি20 ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ ও ইংলিশ প্রিমিয়ার লিগ দেখুন র্যাবিট হলে মাত্র 99 টাকায়।
কিছু বুঝতে পারছি না।
ভাই সাউন্ডটা একটু বাড়ায় দেন।
এবার চলবে খেলা ফুল এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে। আইসিসি টি20 ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ ও ইংলিশ প্রিমিয়ার লিগ দেখুন র্যাবিট হলে মাত্র 99 টাকায়।
কিছু বুঝতে পারছি না।
ভাই সাউন্ডটা একটু বাড়ায় দেন।
এবার চলবে খেলা ফুল এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে। আইসিসি টি20 ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ ও ইংলিশ প্রিমিয়ার লিগ দেখুন র্যাবিট হলে মাত্র 99 টাকায়।
কিছু বুঝতে পারছি না
ভাই সাউন্ডটা একটু বাড়ায় দেন এবার চলবে খেলা ফুল এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে আইসিসি টি20 ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ ও ইংলিশ প্রিমিয়ার লিগ দেখুন র্যাবিট হলে মাত্র 99 টাকায়
पता है क्या कहता है शादी होगी